Canadians are known for their love of hockey, their extreme politeness, and of course, the creation of the poutine. But did you also know that Canada has specific leave laws that varies province by province? If you're a Canadian-based organization or have team members that are based in Canada, then you'll want to be sure that you're adhering to these local leave laws at all times, lest you suffer the penalties. So, as a favor to you, if you're looking for a vacation tracking solution, then I'll be breaking down the best options out there, including ones that have been created by Canadians for Canadians. It should come as no surprise that Canada, like all countries out there, has unique leave requirements. When it comes to holidays, not only do they have federally regulated ones, but also ones that are regulated at the provincial level. On top of this, there are certain provinces that are bilingual, meaning you'll need a solution that operates or works in both French and English. And if that wasn't enough to keep in mind, there is also the PIPEDA Act, which is a privacy law that's been put in place and asks businesses to pay close attention where the data is being stored and secured. It's for these reasons and other ones I haven't even had a chance to mention that it's important to pay close attention when shopping for a vacation tracking solution. Fortunately for you, I picked out 10 of the best solutions out there, and I'll be going through each one briefly so you can get a sense of which one is best for your organization. Let's start with what I think is arguably the best solution out there, Vacation Tracker. It is Canadian made, and not only does it work in English and French, but also multiple other languages. It's really designed for small to mid-sized teams, but also global teams use this as well because of how easy it is to use. If you like to have updates in Slack or Teams about who's away or who's requesting time off, then this is your best bet as their integration is deep and comprehensive. It also supports multiple leave types and multiple policies. So if you want to apply different policies to different locations, it can easily do that. On top of all these great features, it also has some pretty great visualizations in the form of the wall chart and the calendar, so you can easily see who's out at a given moment. Now, of course, if you're looking for a solution that's more broader and doesn't solely do leave tracking, then maybe this is not the best fit for you. But if you're a remote team, startup, or mid-sized business that is feeling the pain of tracking PTO, then you can't go wrong with Vacation Tracker. Next up, we have another Canadian-based business, Collage. Their HR solution is best for small to medium-sized businesses who are looking for an all-in-one HRS system. Not only do they track time off, but there's also payroll software, benefits, employee onboarding, and the list goes on. If you use a solution like this, obviously the benefits would be that your data can go from one module to another. So for example, if you're trying to calculate payroll and balances, having the PTO data easily sync into there is going to make things a lot easier. Now, of course, something like this is going to have limited options when it comes to customization, and there have been mentions from users who complain about document sorting challenges, but overall, if you're a Canadian team that want HR, PTO, and benefits in one place, you can't go wrong with Collage. Continuing on the trend of Canadian-based businesses, we have Employment Hero, which was formerly called Humi, if you're unfamiliar with it. This is another HRS system that not only tracks time off, but also has payroll, performance, and the like. Of course, as I mentioned earlier with Collage, the benefits of having such a solution means that you can have the data talk to one another in one platform and everything is centralized. Of course, the downside to this being is that it tends to be more expensive and there are extra costs associated with certain services. But if you want an alternative to Collage and want to have a short list of HRS platforms, then I would consider adding Employment Hero to that list. The last of our Canadian-based businesses that you should consider when it comes to time off is going to be Knit. Now, once again, this is another HRS system that has a time off module, as you can see here, and it is best for these small to medium-sized businesses who are looking for a unified solution and again, want another option to consider when shopping for a solution. As you can see here, they have a very basic time off module here where you can see calendars, holidays, and categories, as well as your policy, but also you can support things like your company documents and you can easily make changes in the settings. Now, of course, the downside to something like this, once again, is the added cost, and there have been users who report occasional bugs when it comes to some of the time off reporting, but overall, again, it's another hat to throw in the ring and something to consider when shopping for an HR solution that is based in Canada. Now, taking a more global view, we have BambooHR, which is a solution that is used by a lot of Canadian businesses, even though it's not based here. It's designed for mid to large size teams who want a very comprehensive HR system with a strong time off management component. It is great for providing all the different types of reporting analytics you might need, as well as it has basic integrations with Slack and Calendar, as well as an employee self-service portal that makes it easier for employees to be in control of their time off. Now, there are some limited customization policies when it comes to Canadian holidays, but that shouldn't keep you from taking a closer look at a tool that is beloved by many. So if you are a US-based company with Canadian branches, or someone based in Canada that has maybe a hybrid workforce of Canada and US or other, this is one that you should take a closer look at. Another big name in the HRS system space is going to be, of course, Rippling. This is best designed for companies who are rapidly scaling or growing or have a global workforce, not just in Canada. A lot of teams really like it because of its unified HR, IT, and payroll solution, as well as its powerful automations and deep integrations. Now, time off management is a key component of their solution, and they allow for custom PTO policies, as well as real-time tracking and automated approvals. Now, as I mentioned earlier, as Rippling has deep integrations, it works great with Slack, G Suite, and a variety of other software solutions. So if you tend to use a lot of tools in your organization, this might be something worthwhile. Now, of course, the downside of using a solution like this is that it is a bit more complex to set up because of how comprehensive it is. But if you're a fast-growing multi-country company needing automation and you want to ensure that you're always compliant, then you cannot go wrong with Rippling. Now, of course, you can't mention Rippling without mentioning Deel, as these two solutions tend to get compared to one another quite often. Deel is another solution that is best for global remote teams, and it's really found its sweet spot when it comes to managing international contractors and employees. They also have a time off module section that works great, can be integrated with Slack, and their overall solution is great to handle everything when it comes to international teams. Now, some of the downsides include, of course, some inconsistent mobile performance as reported by users, as well as some higher fees for a smaller team. But if you happen to be an organization that is fully remote with a global team and quite large, then I would consider giving Deel a look and checking out their different modules. Another HRS solution that does time off tracking quite well is going to be HiBob. While not Canadian made, they are also designed for mid to large global companies and have a pretty good HR platform with more of a modern UI and the deep analytics that you might be looking for. Obviously, some of the key benefits here for a solution like this is it's easy to manage multi-country time off policies, and of course they have a lot of integrations like the other ones I mentioned earlier. Because of these integrations, they do have deeper customization and automation, at least what I find compared to the other ones. But again, it is quite expensive, especially if you're a smaller team, and they have extra fees for every single module that you might need. At the end of the day, if you're a global HR team or an enterprise level HR team that want rich analytics when it comes to your employees, not just for time off, but for other things like employee engagement, HiBob might be more suited for you. The last vacation tracking solution I'm going to cover is actually Timetastic. It's not a Canadian-based solution, but it is an alternative if you have a small team and you want something that's simple, low cost, and does what it needs to do. As you can see here, it's a very simple setup, a very basic dashboard that lets you track time off, holidays, policies, etc. And they do have a mobile app that works with this as well. Now, of course, there's no advanced features when it comes to Timetastic, such as advanced accrual calculations or specific policy support. And as you can see here, the customization is not that great, but if you're a small startup that just needs basic time off tracking, then I would consider purchasing and using Timetastic. So in summary, if this happens to be the only part of the video you're watching, here's the breakdown of what tool you should use for what scenario. If you're a small team, then I would consider something like Vacation Tracker or Timetastic, as it has a lower cost, simple to set up, and is easy to use. If you're a mid-sized organization that is looking for an HRS platform specifically in Canada, then I would go with BambooHR/Humi, Knit, or Collage, as it has the PTO module in addition to those other ones. If you're a large enterprise and you want something that's been time tested and proven and employees tend to love, then you can't go wrong with BambooHR and HiBob for their rich analytics and of course deep integrations. And lastly, if you're an enterprise that operates globally with employees across all over the world, then I would take a closer look and consider purchasing Rippling or Deel for their multi-country payroll and policy compliance. Whether you need a simple vacation tracker or an HR powerhouse solution, you'll be sure to find something on this list that fits your needs. And of course, for Canadian-owned businesses, do be sure to once again check that it is bilingual, adheres to PIPEDA, and follows the provincial laws. Keep in mind though, that when you do put a vacation tracking solution in place, that doesn't necessarily mean all your struggles with leave management are over. In fact, many companies start to notice the cracks in their leave policy and company culture after implementing such a tool. If you're worried about overcoming these challenges, don't worry, because I covered the 4 biggest problems and how to address each one of them at their root in a separate video. You can watch that by clicking right here, and hopefully I'll catch you in that video.